foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, K-Man? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. K-Man, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, I want to hear from you. Pick up the phone and give me a call. Let's chat about what's on your mind. We're freestyling. Talk today. Next on Radio Cayman. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
To avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. I'll be hanging out here for the next 2 hours. I hope you can hang out with me. It's a pretty nice afternoon here in Georgetown. I'm glad you could join me. Well, it's your show today. Yep. If you want it to be, No pressure. The phone lines are open, so what would you like to bring to our attention? You want to get something off your chest, or maybe give us some food for thought? Spread a little cheer around the place? Well, we already have someone on the line, so let's check it out. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charlo.
There he is.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you doing?
Not bad. Try to improve in what I do.
I hear you.
Yes, sir. And I also have a poem here that I wrote on the 1st of January.
You're starting the year off right.
Yes, sir.
So you got one for us today.
Yes, sir. It's approximately 19 verses.
19 verses?
Yes, sir. 19 lines.
Lines. Okay, that's
Yes.
much better. Well, lay it on me, bro.
Okay. It's entitled Have a Happy New Year. Hopefully it goes well. Have a happy new year, y'all. Let us observe the right ways. Let us be inspired by what our good leaders say. We can do it. Just try harder to do what is right. Not only in the sight of men, but also in God's sight. As some have fallen, let us seek strength to be lifted up again. Seek blessings as the sun shineth and as it rains. Paradise or islands are spoken of. Let us keep it that way. Seek prosperity and peace within themselves day by day. Also, it is of importance to follow the 10 Commandments. Be lifted up once more, seek good, be repentant. Dusting ourselves off as many have fallen. Rise up, my friends. Arise, arise, arise upward with strength again and again. As a child learns to walk, let us again try to do right. Try and try again. You'll succeed. The future is bright. As a painter paints we can make ourselves anew. Let us have love for doing right in all that we do. God is able to make that old vessel better and better. We're not perfect. We do fall. But arise, I say, through this letter. Have a happy new year, y'all. From Mr. Poet Craig.
Ladies and gentlemen, Poet Laureate of Talk Today, Craig Brown himself. Craig, that was nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you keep writing, man.
I'll try to do the best I can, sir.
You give us some words of inspiration to start the show off with. That's nice. You know.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Well, you have a good afternoon. Have a whole rest of the week for that poem, man.
Yes, sir.
I enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, take care.
Okay.
Yeah. Craig Brown there, giving us one of his poems to start off the new year with. And Craig does some good work there with the pen, right? That's why I call him the Poet Laureate. Yeah. But so I hope that made you feel good for Wednesday afternoon. As people would say, hump day. Make you feel like you can go on with the rest of the week and take care of business. Let's see here. Taking a look around. Let's see what's making headlines around Cayman. I see MRCU, but they're getting drones now. They're gonna, go modern. I don't know. I don't know what does that mean. The plane is going to go out of action or what? I don't know. But yeah, they're training and calibrating drones. See a picture of it. It ain't no little play drone like so, some people have their little drone with a little camera on it. This thing looks quite serious here, right? Yeah. So if you see a funny looking object flying over your yard and maybe some spray coming out of it, don't get alarmed. It's just MRCU getting into some new technology here. And what else is making news? Crypto coming to Cayman big time, it looks like. Crypto.com. Crypto has really moved into the mainstream now, right? It was just a few years ago, everybody looked at it really suspicious. I guess some people still look at it suspiciously. It's like, you buy crypto, what is it that I'm owning? Some zeros and ones and whatever, I don't know. But yeah, that is here to stay. Looks, and I even saw an ad the other day. Some guy selling a car, and he said crypto accepted. I couldn't believe it, but yeah, it was for sale section, and he would take crypto. And here's an interesting one where people, they are doing the ride share kind of thing, and this story was in the Compass there about a lawyer, Alistair David, warning that expatriates driving passengers for money without a specific work permit are breaking the law. Oh, really? Is that a surprise? Of course, they say, they try to get around it and say, it's a gas contribution, right? That sounds like that old thing where you have a party and you take a contribution at the door, and you're not charging for the liquor, so you say, "Oh no, we're not selling liquor," and the liquor licensing board is like, "You're taking money for people to get in, and you're serving them liquor. Sounds like you're selling liquor in some kind of way." Yeah, so they say, we're not really a transportation service. We're a social app or something. Yeah, a ride-sharing app. We're just a platform. We're not a cab company or a bus company. No, we're not a transportation company. We're a high-tech app, and if they don't give us a contribution, I wonder, do you get a ride? It's like the gas contribution is $10. Oh, well, I don't want to give a contribution. I just want to ride. I bet you the story changes then, right? And if you're looking for a job, the police are recruiting. If you think you have what it takes to be a police officer, a constable, you might want to look at the police department. They're out to hire some more numbers there, some people to boost up the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. We always hear on this show about people saying, we need more police presence. And yesterday we heard, PC Watts was talking about, the number of people that were in, Operation Winter Guardian. And I'm sure you saw the police presence out over the holidays, especially as we came down to New Year's Eve there. And, I mean, they had to cancel leave or, take officers off their rest days, take people out from behind the desk, and in order to make up the numbers to keep that operation going. So, you feel like serving the country, serving the community, keeping the bad guys in place. Maybe you want to think about joining the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service. Well, I think we got to take a little break here. So stay with me. Be right back.
Hey, new drivers, don't just drive smart. Cynical and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cynical motor insurance. Learn more and register at cynical.ky. Cynical, keeping Cayman covered.
Have your say on fishing in Cayman in a public survey available now until January 9th. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability is running a public survey on local fishing and proposed changes to who can fish in our waters and what fish and shellfish they can take. Share your views online or at community booths across the islands. Visit publicconsultation.gov.ky for all the details. Your voice can help shape the next chapter for fishing in the Cayman Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yeah, what's on your mind? There's an interesting spot there. A survey on fishing, I guess, looking at putting in some fishing regulations. Maybe we're going to have fishing licenses, like in the States. You go fishing, you got to have a license, right? I remember I went out on a boat with a couple of guys down Key West way, and those three of us, and the guy that had a boat said, "Well, you can only have 2 rods out at one time, because in the distance might be a ranger with binoculars." Said, "Oh, 3 guys in that boat. Let's go check them out." If you don't have 3 licenses on there, somebody's getting the ticket, We're freestyling here today. I want to hear from you. 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. No charges there. Or you can call us on 949-8037. Unfortunately, our WhatsApp seems to be down today, but you can still send us a message if you want. But seems like the phone calls on WhatsApp is giving us some trouble. Yesterday it was giving us trouble too. We've got to see if we can solve that problem. But you can send us a message at 925-3261. And still looking at some of the things in the newspaper here. I see the old Treasure Island, Margaritaville. I always call it Treasure Island still. Never got used to that other name. It's always Treasure Island. That property, that hotel, is like, a cat and its 9 lives. It's been through so many changes, Now it's got a new life again. The Margaritaville didn't last too long either, but what's now called the Hyatt Centric Resort, and apparently that's being bought up left, right, and center. But that was a good scene though back in the day, the Treasure Island, and if you remember anything about the history of that place. Oh gosh, there was all kind of controversy about that, even from the time it was being built and the guy that was behind it. If I'm remembering correctly, there was a whole thing where the guy who built it, he kind of disappeared at one point or something, or the last anyone knew about him, they saw him putting his Rolls Royce on some freighter plane, and he left, if I'm remembering that correct. And then the country stars bought it. Yeah, and actually, it was a good place for a show. Had like at one point had the best, and I don't know if everybody has ever put a stage up inside of a club, like how Treasure Island had. Had good lighting, great sound, and a big stage that a band could get up and perform on. And a lot of people had a good time down there. That was at one point. That was where the action was, and a lot of good times there for Treasure Island. Yeah, the 9 lives of that property. So Hyatt has it now, I guess. So be under their branding. What's on your mind, K-Man? I tell you what, I was thinking about something this morning. I was thinking, where are we headed? Entering the new year, our economy is moving along at quite a pace. Tourism is booming. People are working. Unemployment is statistically low. Inflation is still with us, of course. But from the last stats from the Economics and Statistics Office, inflation is not as bad as what it was. People still complain, but the numbers are not as bad as previously. The cost of some things dropping while others rising. So you got they play off against each other, and those stats was from the the third quarter. That would be July to September period. So stats are always kind of behind because it takes time to crunch those numbers, calculate things out. But here we are in 2026, and development continues. Concrete is still poured. Some people warning that too much concrete is being poured. But as we head for the end of this decade, where is Cayman headed? Okay, where are we headed? And we do have a caller on the line, so let's check in with that person. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Charles. How are you?
I'm fine. And yourself?
I'm doing all right. Happy New Year to you. And
Happy New Year.
Here at Radio Cayman, especially with Susan, my favorite Caymanian person. Charles, I was off the island, and Kenneth, Mr. Brian was on to the radio, and oh no, I'm not sure if he was on the radio. I saw it on Facebook. He brought a motion about these face masks with all of the stuff that is happening in Cayman with these cover-up face masks.
Yeah.
Charles, that was something that I brought to the attention of this country 15 to 20 years ago, right? Because I saw it was going to be a problem, right? COVID came, it's not much we could do about that, right? It was neglected and it was forgotten about. And I just want to say I support Mr. Brian 100%, right? Because when you see all of these people around people's yards doing gardening, and these owners don't know who they are, right? Because they're masked up. That is not good, right? We should not allow it. It needs to be squashed. It should not be allowed in this country.
Do you think
right?
they should be able to wear them when they're working, though? When there's a lot of dust or something that's being created while they're working?
Charles, we have been around this country doing gardening work for how long? For centuries and centuries, right? Did we ever put mask on and mask up? You know what we did? We wear a big old hat if we were afraid of the sun. This is all from abroad. It was brought in here. We didn't invented this, right? So we have to stop making people come here and doing these things and be accepting it, right? Because that is where our downfall can be when it comes to crime, right? You can wear what do you used to call them, the handkerchiefs, like we used to do also.
The bandana?
Right? Put them over, or someone used to come with the hats that you could buy, right? But to have your whole complete face covered, that all you can see, sometimes you can't even see the eyes because of dark shades. It should not be allowed, Charles. And, I will not in my lifetime accept that, because it is totally wrong and it's going to leave this country 100% worse than the direction that we are going right now, along with many, many other things. Just one more thing. There was Kenneth and Mr. Hugh on to the Cayman radio this morning, and Mr. Hugh was saying, just mentioning the things that we own. And he was saying we own the high school, we own the hospital, we own the airport, and a number of other things that he named that we own. Well, you know what? Why it is, every time I go through our airport like he claimed, I feel like I'm in a total, completely different country altogether. Don't they feel the same way that I feel when they go through that airport? So far as I'm concerned, that airport is not ours as Caymanians. It's everybody else besides Caymanians, because there's not one Caymanian you can find up in that airport that understand you as a Caymanian and you understand them. And it's really, really sad, because it seems like you have to be unelected or in the backbench to come up with ideas, which is totally unaccepted also. Because if you have all of these ideas when you're in power, why don't you do something about it and put them in place and get something done? No, they all choose as soon as things are going good, they forget about all of these things. It's only when things are going bad to them that they complain and they find excuses and they come up with remedies and solutions for everything that you can think about. But you know what? We as Caymanians, the majority of us as Caymanians, we know what politicians are all about. And the day comes that I think that somebody deserves credit, I will be the first to give them credit. When they deserve not to get that, I will be the first also to jump on the wagon and say, no, you don't deserve this. You know you're wrong. So that is my 2 cents, Charles. We need to look at where the country is going, like you just said. Do something about it. Look at all of the rest of the countries, right? And I just want to thank America for protecting us in this Caribbean from all of them other things out there that would bring us harm. But you know what? Everything this president do in this world, it's bad. You know, and that is totally unaccepted. And you know what? Anybody can come and bash me for whatever, but you know what? I am entitled to my beliefs.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way I will always be. And you know, some people, if you have an opinion, that is your opinion. But I am entitled to voice my opinion also without somebody coming behind and say, "Oh, well, he's an old idiot. He's this and that." Well, you know what? This idiot not as stupid and foolish.
You know, we all have a right to express ourselves.
Exactly.
But let me take you back. Let me take you back to your comment there about the airport.
Yeah.
I guess you're referring to the number of expatriate workers that you have to pass through in the airport. Is that was what you meant, right?
That is correct.
But don't you think the airport is under the same kind of situation that so many businesses find themselves in Cayman, where you just don't have enough Caymanian applicants looking for a job there to fill all the posts?
Charles, you know what? The reason I say the airport, because a lot of the businesses, right, can be owned by, say, one Caymanian and his, let's say, a husband and a wife, right? A lot of the business can be owned by 2 couples, right? And they get these people to work for them. At least it's a Caymanian run and owned business. But when we gonna say that the airport is ours, right? Which it is ours, but my point was, why do I feel like I am in a different country? Because the oldest time I see a Caymanian is when I am coming through back to the island. I'm coming through customs, right? And all of a sudden on that flight, I didn't recognize one person that I can say, "Oh, there's a Caymanian."
Yeah, well, that's here we are, 2026.
All of a sudden, I'm going through customs, and everybody off of that flight now is Caymanian. Now explain that to me.
Well, you know, I guess they got their papers.
Well, you mean a work permit?
Yeah, well, no, well, if they're Caymanian, if they're in the Caymanian line, they got status, permanent residency.
Charles, I mean, they can do a lot better than that. I mean, give us a little bit more pride and respect in our own country. not let every Tom go to America and try to do it. That's what I want you to do, right?
Well, I mean, if you become an American citizen, you go through the American citizen line, right?
Not if you're a naturalized American. No, you don't. You have to be American to go through that American line, not naturalized.
You sure that? If you got an American passport,
I am positive of that.
if you're a citizen of the United States, I don't think so. I think once you got an American passport, regardless of where you were born, if you got a U.S. passport, you could go through the U.S. line.
Charles, if you have an American passport, you're absolutely right. But a lot of the naturalized Americans do not have American passport, or the lot of I was naturalized.
Well, then they would have a green card.
I had a green card, but I could not go through an American immigration line. You know, I had to go through the visitors or, naturalized.
Yeah, the general line, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we need to put down some rules. And, I really respect what this government is trying to do, but I need them to do more. There's a lot more to do. And, anyway, I can leave it there, Charles. So
all right. Thank you for the call. Have a great afternoon.
All right. Have a good one. You too, sir.
Good to hear from you. All right. So that's how he feels about it. Like he says, you have a right to express your opinion. We got to take a little break here. So stay with me. We're coming back.
If you're riding an e-bike or scooter, the rules of the road apply. These devices are treated the same as motor vehicles. You must be at least 17 years old, hold a valid Category 0 or Category 2 driver's license, and your device must be registered, licensed, and insured. You must obey traffic signals, road signs, and road markings, and operate only where permitted by law. These are existing legal requirements. Enforcement begins 16 January.
For details, contact DVDL at www.dvdl.gov.ky.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And just before we go to the phone there, I've got a WhatsApp message in response to that last caller talking about people wearing masks on the job. Says these people have every right to protect themselves from dust and other particles. Face coverage on construction and landscaping jobs should be acceptable. So that's another view on that situation. We have someone on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hello.
Hello, you're on the air.
Yeah, okay. I'm just calling about this thing with the government. You were just saying about fishing.
Yeah, I heard the spot that said they're doing a survey.
Well, my thing on that is, people normally that they're targeting. Okay, let's put it this way: that the target is what you should do about the fishing, right? Whether people that are here on a work permit or just staying here to work should be fishing, or something like that. I remember a couple of months ago when they were talking about immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Miles was smart enough to come to the Brock and hold a meeting and sat down and told everybody about immigration and answer questions. We got representatives up here in the Brock that was supposed to be holding meeting with the fishermen up here from they got in. And I've seen them, and they promised, but I haven't seen them holding any meeting yet. But you know what? As long as, when I was a boy growing up, they used to have white people dance and black people dance. They don't have that anymore. You know what? As far as I can see now, when a Caymanian is not black and white. As long as you're a Cayman, you're going to suffer. And I don't care who is in there, unless it's Miles or the two people from North Side or East End or West Bay. The rest, I couldn't give a shit about them.
Okay, careful.
Okay, sorry. I worked at Spanish Bay Reef for 3 years as a scuba instructor. I was the first Caymanian to become a scuba instructor, not a dive master.
Mm-hmm.
I had 4 cards, 4 different. I was the first one to get a instructor card from SSI, 5,000 instructor card. I was in the cover Skin Diver magazine. The only Caymanian that ever been on the cover Skin Diver magazine was me. And you know what? When I went there, I went from the police department straight to Spanish Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And I had help from little Joshua Porre, and Clint Ebanks. Clint in West Bay, Ebanks.
Yeah, I know him.
And Locke McTavish there, he promised me when YMCA run the first instructor course in Cayman, he said, "Okay, I'll pay anyone that wants to go and get their instructor course. I'll pay for it." In the morning he left. We went away in the morning when I went in to get the money to go, because I went down and applied and do everything else, and they said, "Well, we haven't collected the money from you yet, and you can't set the course unless you get the money." So I went back to Spanish Bay to the front desk. And I told the after accountant, Locke was supposed to left me X amount of money. No, he didn't leave anything, and I was so mad. But I was standing by the door, and I was so mad. And here comes what you name now, Peter, the ex-pilot.
Peter Schmidt.
Peter Smith, and he asked me what happened, because he was chef down there at the time, and you never meet a better person than him. He asked what happened. I explained to him. He said, "Don't worry about it. I'll just pay for it. I'll just give you the money, and when I'll come, I'll get it back from him." And I went and I done my course. And even though you had to be, if you're a Caymanian, everything is against you. When I passed, they called me and told me, say, "Well, you passed, but we noticed you didn't do a first aid course. Go and take the first aid course, and if you fail that, you fail the whole course." And I could not believe it. But I done the first aid course. I passed right away, and I got my card. And, I was still, even though I was a Caymanian and with a scuba instructor, I was treated like shit down there. Only when I went to Bob Soto. When I left
you got to watch the language, though.
Sorry. And went to Bob Soto. His wife, Miss Alida, she ran Bob Soto, not Bob Soto. Kim Jackson and Miss Alida was the two that ran Bob Soto. Kim Jackson worked so hard. Anything went with any boat, but Kim Jackson was right there to fix it. Miss Alida Soto was right there pumping tanks. She was doing anything you asked her, she would do for you. But what I'm getting to, we have a representative up here. He promised to say, I'm going to hold a meeting with the fishermen to hear, what they want, or we haven't heard anything about meeting yet. And we got people that come in this island that doing the things that I couldn't do when I was a diver, when I had my own business. Because they can take all the docks up here, and I got to go fishing 6 o'clock in the morning, and I can't get back to the dock to use it till 5-something in the afternoon.
Well, I don't know about your representative, but let's say Cayman Brack. This meeting is Kirkconnell's Market, January. Well, the date and time is going to be announced, but a meeting is scheduled in Cayman Brack about this fishing survey. And also.
The fishing.
Pardon?
About the fishing you're talking about.
Yeah.
On the 9th.
No, the date hasn't been set yet, but it's going to be at Kirkconnell's Market in Cayman Brack.
Well,
the date is
I have to get them to that, but what I'm saying is they're waiting a long time before they're doing it. They should have done that long ago. You don't know. You radio came on, but you don't know. You don't see what's going on with the people that fish up here. All I'm hoping was that they don't try to take some people that have boats up here that wants to fish, because If that happens, then you won't have no fishing tournaments anymore.
Well, listen, I got to break in on you because it's 2 o'clock and I got to go to the news, okay?
Okay. All right, then.
All right. Thanks for
Okay.
calling, though.
Okay, bye.
All right. Let's see what's making headlines.
Entertainment, inspiration.
Covering Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, Cayman Brac.
Since 1976 till now.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. BDO Cayman Islands has promoted insurance specialist Gordon Proctor to partner strengthening its leadership in the captive insurance and reinsurance space, they say. They say he brings more than a decade of experience advising insurance managers, captive owners, and reinsurers on regulatory, reporting, and operational requirements in the Cayman market. The firm says his appointment underscores BDO Cayman's commitment to recognizing talent and supporting clients as the reinsurance sector continues to grow and evolve. In international news, the White House is facing questions after U.S. forces seized 2 Venezuela-linked Ghost Fleet oil tankers in back-to-back operations in the North Atlantic and the Caribbean. The Russian-flagged Marinera was intercepted with U.K. military support, while a second vessel, the Sophia, was boarded by the U.S. Coast Guard in international waters as Washington tightens its blockade on sanctioned Venezuelan oil and accuses the ships of violating U.S. sanctions. Conservationists in the Democratic Republic of Congo are celebrating the rare birth of twin mountain gorillas in the Virunga National Park, where a 22-year-old female named Mafuko has delivered 2 healthy baby boys. Twin births are believed to make up only about 1% of mountain gorilla births, and with fewer than 1,100 of the endangered primates left in the wild, park rangers say these new arrivals are a significant boost for the species. Extra monitoring and protection have been put in place around Mafuko's family group to help keep the vulnerable infants safe in a region where poachers and armed groups still operate. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born September 25, 1947, at Watering Place, Cayman Brac, Royce Adolphus Dilbert was the firstborn son to Helen and Grace Dilbert, née Tibbetts. As a young boy, he attended Weston Primary School, then later Gainstead High School in Jamaica, when the family moved there to be closer to his dad, who was chief engineer on Cockernel ships. During school breaks, he would work at Hannah's haberdashery store as a wrapper. Wanting to be a seaman and engineer like his dad, shortly after his 16th birthday, Royce would join his dad on the Cockernel ship, the Kirk Pride, as a messman, later working on other Cockernel ships, for Bawden Shipping on the Merkel, National Boat Carriers, West Indian Towing Company, and West Indian Lines. Mr. Dilbert would enroll at National Technical School, and at age 25, he achieved his chief engineer license. By this time, Royce had worked his way up the ranks from BR messman to wiper oiler, fireman, second and first engineer to chief engineer.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And let's take a brief look at the weather, the current conditions. 83 degrees here in Georgetown. It feels like 90. And the wind is out of the east-northeast at 11.5 knots. Humidity at 76%. Okay, and the forecast for today calls for partly cloudy skies this afternoon and straight into tonight, with east to northeast winds at 10 to 15 knots and seas slight to moderate, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. And we have someone on the line, so let's check in with the phones. Good afternoon. You're on the Air with Talk Today.
Mr. Cello.
Yes. How you doing?
Happy Wednesday, man. I just wish it would rain, you know? I guess we'll get some time.
And we got a little cold front coming in here. We'll get a little shower with it.
Yeah. I pray to God all the time for rain, man. I love rain, you know? Today I want to say congratulations to Marlon Bowden and Charles Clifford for their actions during the Christmas. I want to get too deep in it, but want to make Cayman Islands know this is where we at in this life in Cayman Islands now. This is the things that we have to face. Hopefully no more. But I just want to congratulate them on their actions during the Christmas.
You're not going to tell us why?
Well, apparently what I'm hearing that they found some guns and ganja and held 2 persons. So I want to congratulate them on that action there, because this is where we are, and this is the world that we're living in. And while we may think that we have so much friends abroad, again, you know, I don't like that word no more.
Yeah, you told me yesterday.
Yep. People just don't like us, Cello. Foreign people don't like us.
Well, you can't say that all foreign people don't like us, though. I mean, that's...
Well, I don't know about
very
all.
wide brush.
But I know about some. You understand? And it's all bad mind and grudge and jealousy. You understand? You not got no money and you're hungry and you come into my island to look some food and you're putting me down at the same time. That's what goes on here. You understand? And
you're thinking this in relation to the guns that were found?
Well, this is what I'm dealing with, Charlo. This is the world that we're living in.
Yeah.
And we got people who are out to take us down, my friend, while laughing in your face at the same time and making you believe that we're friends and we're neighbors and all this kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But do you think that's like deliberate to hurt Cayman and Caymanians, or is that just plain out criminal activity? I mean, it's just criminals taking
Well, Chalo,
criminal activity.
I don't. Listen, man. It's not a good thing, though.
Definitely not. Anytime you're talking about guns being smuggled, those people are up to no good.
I mean, you can imagine the damage that 4 guns could do. You understand? But like I said, Chado, Customs Department, I always had the highest of respect for them in my days at the airport, because I got a little history at the airport. I won't say what it is, but I've been around there in my young days as well. And right now, I believe the custom makes the most money out of any government department.
You mean collecting import duties?
Yeah, everything.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, import duty is a big chunk of government revenue.
Yeah, man. So this is what I'm saying. I have the heights of respect for them, and hopefully that they'll have all the technology that they need, and beyond.
Not only do they collect the money, but they protect the borders also to.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, Chado. But Chado, today, talking about passing opinions, today, this is how I look at this thing, From the time we got a title of a World Financial Center, the world put their trust in us. You had governments of the past, and it would seem like anybody ever really thought about the security of this island. You understand? And not depending on foreigners to secure your island. You understand? We should have looked after ourselves from the time we got that title to secure ourselves with good coast guards, you understand? And the best machinery that you use in security. You understand? We suppose we could have, I believe, and we should have the best of Coast Guard vessels taking care of these 3 Cayman Islands right now. You understand? That when we tell you to stop out there, we have something to stop you. You understand? That's how I feel about Cayman today as a world financial center. Because wherever money is, world-class criminals gonna be. They come in. And we continue to use our word, Cayman kind, pushing that all over the world. And the terrorists, when they see that, boy, they come in, they can try and get here.
So what, you think they take kindness for weakness?
Well, it seems like that's what's happened to us too, Chalo. Yeah, man. Some people, man, I tell Chalo, as a world financial center, the guy in the middle of us, we think that people like us because they laugh in our face and this and that, but I don't believe so. That's why I don't want to hear nothing about friends. And chances are I'm not going to get acquainted with not too much of them either, because I don't speak to them. They don't speak to me. You understand?
Well, I mean, I know you told me yesterday about when so-called friends led you down the wrong path, right? But I mean, don't give up on people altogether. I mean, even if you can just if you just have one good friend, that's a good thing to have a good friend.
That's true. Bona fide friends. I have a couple, but it's just that I'm very careful with how I accept.
Because of your past experience.
Yes, man. Anyway, Shadow, like I said, man, today, that's how I feel about Cayman Islands today. We should take care of our destiny. We should secure ourselves and stop depending on people. You understand? Pay the Caymanian, and he will work. And there's nobody better to secure Cayman than our native Caymanians. But he won't get paid, and she won't get paid too. You understand? Because a security job is not an easy job. You understand? So that's how I feel about Cayman today. And we could have had it. Cayman made the money. We could have had it. I don't understand why we don't have it.
Well, I mean, we do have a Coast Guard now. I mean, it's not anything compared to what the U.S. has or something like that, but we do have a Coast Guard and helicopter.
Well, I know, Chalo. I see the boats and things like that. What I'm saying is, we could have had better. We could have had better. So when you tell a man 100 miles off here to stop 2 times and he don't stop, then you stop him. You understand? These are the kind of machinery I'm talking about in today's world. Because them little boats that we got now really, because hopefully it don't happen, but them little boats that we got now, Charlie, we just hope that they don't meet no really cartels out on our ocean out there,
Yeah, I guess you would like to see what do they call it? A cutter, a Coast Guard cutter, right?
No, you're on my line, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, I would feel so proud even to see the Caymanian staff on them, officers. I visualize it all the time, how nice it would look to see them. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I visualize.
I think they do have a pretty good Caymanian crew for, as far as our Coast Guard is concerned right now. Well, listen, thank you so much for the call.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Yeah, man. Okay. Great.
All right, you take care.
Yeah, man.
Let me correct something that I was talking about, the fishing survey that is going on. When I was talking to the caller there just before the news, I think I indicated that it was meetings that were being held, but I was kind of trying to skim over this press release here at the same time I was talking to him, and I kind of got it wrong there. It says the survey is available at publicconsultation.gov.ky or in person at community survey booths that will be set up at key public locations across all 3 islands on selected Fridays and Saturdays during the survey period. Booths will be located at supermarkets across Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and Cayman Brac. And so these are booths where you can actually get the survey. And that all begins, let's see here. I think I better look at this information again. Looks like this is this press release is different than what we just heard on the spot there. So let me look into that, because I think I got this all wrong here. So disregard all of that. The jury will disregard that testimony. But let's see. Yeah. In the first part of the show, I was talking about, where are we headed? We're continuing to develop. Cayman is really booming right now, I guess you would say. It's amazing, even after the shutdown with COVID, after we opened back up again, it was like, flank speed. All engines powered up and full ahead. It's amazing the construction and development that has happened after the COVID shutdown. So where do we as a people want Cayman to be headed? Are we on the path of prosperity for those who are able to take advantage of the opportunities that will present themselves in a modern Cayman? Are we on a pathway of more division? I mean, listen to some of the calls that just came in today, right? Are we on a pathway of more division in our society, both economically and culturally? Are we building a multicultural society in Cayman, which Caymanians and expatriates can respect each other and work together for the common good? Or a Cayman where each of us can pursue our dreams, pursue financial betterment, pursue happiness? Going back to the Economic and Statistics Office, the ESO estimates that Cayman crossed the 90,000 population mark last year sometime. According to the ESO estimate that was last updated in July last year, Cayman had a population of over 91,000 people. And ESO projects that the population will be a little over 95,000 by next year. That's 2027. Remember, we're in 26. So a little over 95,000 people by next year. That's what the ESO is estimating the population. They got their formula for figuring that out. I guess the number of work permits being, granted and so forth. So if that projection is on the mark and that rate of population increase is maintained, we're looking at 100,000 people in Cayman Islands by 2030, right? And of course, the majority of that increase will not be Caymanian. We don't have that kind of birth rate. 100,000 people coming up in 4 years. And sometimes, like I mentioned, stats are sometimes lagging the real number in real time because they have to take what they can get at a certain period, do all their calculations, and while they're calculating, things continue to grow. So, how does that sound to you? That kind of population and all the ramifications thereof. Where are you going to be in 4 or 5 years, if the last 5 years is any indication? How is a modern Cayman shaping up? What are we going to be looking at? And all that, again, is even though the pandemic put the brakes on over the last 5 years, we had that screeching halt where we closed the borders of Cayman and everything shut down. You were restricted to your house and only essential workers. Everything kind of came to a halt. We're still managing to grow at that rate. And how do we keep things going? How do we keep the good the good thing that we have? How do we keep that going for the generations to come? Young people who are away at college, young children who are just now in primary school, what are they looking at? What kind of Cayman are they going to be in 20 years? Here we're talking about this great population increase in just, 4 years or so. And I guess we wouldn't recognize the Cayman of 20, 25 years from now, because if this is maintained, good Lord, we now have 10-story buildings. Do you think we'll ever see maybe 15-story buildings in Cayman? I guess it's possible. As the land keeps getting used up, space becomes more prime. You can build up, but you can't build out. We have a caller on the line. Let's see what's on their mind. Oh, they left? Okay. Well, if you got cut off or something, bring us back. Yeah. We really have limited space, being a small island. So, land, as it's got used up, becomes more prime. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon and happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Good
Thank
to hear
God
you.
for another year. Good to hear you too. Well, I always hear you. I always hear you, and we'll see. But it's so good to know that God has spared our life for to see another year.
Indeed.
Now, many of us Caymanians, we're not hopeful anymore. We're not praying Caymanians anymore. We just take, like the last caller say, take this Cayman kind for it's a joke. The people, some of the people that are coming in here, they take it for a joke and take us for a joke because we're huggy and still we go behind the Caymanian back. Some people do, because I've overheard it and I've caught in arguments about it and talk about our own Caymanians. Now, a lot of Caymanians is without jobs. A lot of them. I know quite a few of them. I know some that their jobs was made redundant and apply to and go and see and speak to the companies, and they say we'll give you a second interview, we'll give you maybe the third interview, and you're hopeful. You're very hopeful because then this Cayman kind. But the jobs they were advertising why the Caymanian go and apply for it is already filled, but they don't tell you that. They just don't tell you that. Another thing that is the government need. I'm speaking about this government that we just put in, this coalition government.
Right.
They need to go out there and see really what's happening. Now, the people that we're getting here, some of them, let's say the domestic people, some of them that are nannies and stuff, they have to share rooms that do even have a basin in the bathroom, and they're renting from Caymanians. Caymanians are building on and on and on. Just little, you would have to call it shacks. We need to put more people in planning, more people in inspection of these places, because we're making some parts of Cayman, and I can tell you many places down in here in West Bay that you can go, and it's like a shanty town. It's ridiculous of what's happening. You know that those kind of places do not have a planning permit, nor anything went to planning. It's just not enough staff where they should be, and immigration themselves, how some of these people working for them, and things that you know that should not go on in an island as small as this, and Cayman Brac is full of different nationalities, mainly some that is overpowering us right here in Grand Cayman. Even in front offices at the hotels, well, they only got two, and one of them is staffed with just foreign people, and the other one is nearly as bad.
So is that because Caymanians are not going into the hospitality industry? Or you think they're being discriminated against?
Yes, exactly. They tell them to go to see this check out this job at this hotel
Because we
or
just
the
saw
next
something
hotel.
The government saying they're trying to get more Caymanians involved in the hospitality.
They got to try harder. I'm sorry, Charlo. They have to try harder. And you know what is needed badly? Now, I could call one name of a nationality. They need to have here in this island customer service for Caymanians. We do not have the customer service of a Filipino. Most Filipinos, they go out of their way to help you. I have to say that the ones that I have dealt with, they go out of their way to help you. And every day you sit down, I sit down. It's a little group of us that sit down at Foster's Commander Bay, and we see people going in and out there. Now, if they were not living here, they don't need a cart to do shopping as they do. And you say, where in the heck are they from? And then we're guessing. And then you get to talk to one or two of them. Nepalese, Dominican Republic. Well, we don't need to speak about the Jamaicans. They overpowering us as it is. We need sharper rules and laws in this island. And we're being too mankind. We cannot go anywhere else. Not me, because I'm retired. I was in the tourism business for mostly all of my working life, I was in the tourism business, and I know what was going on there. I know that our tourism department is not doing their job as well. It's too much slackness. It is too much slackness. And I heard that man talking about, or your last caller talking about, the drugs and guns that was bought. And I understand it was a boat that they found. I don't know where it was coming from. They said it was from Jamaica. I do not know that. That's what I've heard. But it comes from other places. I don't think, I'm not too sure, but I do not think that Charles Clifford works with the border, Cayman border
with custom?
patrol or control or whatever. I don't think he works there anymore. I'm not certain.
I took it, I don't know, that he had just happened to be, that they found this. I don't know. The way he put it, it was almost as if they stumbled onto it or something that they discovered.
Yes, and I sit down there some days in Burger King by the waterfront, and I see the patrol boats that we have coming in there. My God, my grandfather and my uncles had a bigger door than that, and a bigger canoe too than what I see coming in there, with two huge old engines, and the whole back is nearly down in the water. And then they come in and to get lunch. And the little boys that I see there, I say, good God, that's what we got to depend on. Not saying to keep the person out of a job, but who do we have properly really train these people? Who?
Well, I'm sure they were trained. I mean, you know.
Our kind of training? The Cayman kind training? Oh, well, I know you didn't go to that, you know.
I don't think they were, you know, not the Cayman kind training, like the Department of Tourism or something. But
but Charlo, when you really see and you think of it, you say, good Lord, what is going to happen to our younger children that you just spoke about? They have no future here. That's why some of them, the government sent off for training and other things, and they come back to government and say, well, I don't have a job for you. There's one's coming up soon. They shouldn't be told that. They should be put in a job that they were trained for.
So, from what we are being told, there's going to be now a coordination between work, WORC, and the education ministry, will with people who are away on scholarships, that that this person is going to be finishing school in 6 months and will be returning. That's going to be coordinated now as far as what Caymanians are available for certain jobs, and so that people aren't spending 4 years in school and coming back home and not being able to find a job. So hopefully that is going to improve that situation.
Yes, I hope so, Charlo. I really hope so, because I have 3 friends that were set away by government and no job for them, and they came back, and then they're now in England, and
they're migrated to England.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because it wasn't anything here for.
I've heard of quite a few young people who have gone to.
Yes. We're not strict enough on these on these departments. I am sorry to say, including work.
Well,
It's
mind
not
you know,
quick
they,
enough.
these days the scholarship. When you get a scholarship, it's not that you have to come back and work for government, because it's just that you have to come back to Cayman and work. You know, in years gone by,
Exactly,
you used to have
because
to come and work off your scholarship in government, but now
yes,
it's just that you return to Cayman now.
yes,
But
and that
listen,
is
I
true.
have to take a break, and I got someone hanging on the line also. So
Yes.
I'm gonna
God have mercy on us, like you just said. We had to, we have to pray, but then again, God wants us to help ourselves too, and this is the only island that
those
we
who help
have
themselves,
that we
right?
can help ourselves. Exactly.
And let's keep optimistic.
Thank you.
Thank you for the call. We have to keep
You're most
optimistic, and make sure that our young people is prepared to step into the workforce with, the skills and knowledge that it takes to run a modern Cayman. We're going to take a break. Caller, hold on for me. We'll be right with you.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And a short WhatsApp message here. And I guess this is in relation to coalition governments or something. It says, election has become like a marriage of convenience. Let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good enough today so far. Really nice.
So what's on your mind today?
Okay, so far, I mean, just trying to think about how to respond to some things that I hear callers are calling about, because we are in a really like a moment of dialogue. Everybody is really talking sense now, and we need to learn how to use that conveniently. It's the perfect time. You was mentioning about fishing. You still on that topic, or you?
No, that was just something that came up. If you want to return to it, that's fine.
All right, I all in for it, because boy, I love my seafood and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know which Caymanian don't, but I feel sorry for them. If what I took the survey, and I answered it as honest as I could and as fairly as I could. And one thing that I would like that the government would also think of for Caymanians, especially the youths, because I know more than 60, or I could say even 70% of the people that I know go fishing are young Caymanians. At least they're still fishing. And if I'm not wrong, free diving is one of our specialties here in Cayman. You know, a lot of us haven't been growing up with all those expensive equipment, but we do know how to dive all 60 to 70 feet.
Yeah, it was a big thing back in the day.
Still is, but it's being shunned secretly by certain people, you know, by attacking individuals that are trying to make a living off of free diving, because you can't just always, it's going to be very expensive, right? Give or take. It's going to be very expensive if you go into the professionalism, when it come into catching fish and stuff, like diving equipment so that they can dive longer, catch. I think that is actually illegal, but, you know, I think that when it come into how Caymanian people, how us as locals deal with our way of living, we have a lot of the residents that enjoy cooking seafood, and they maybe don't have the ability to go and catch their own fish, but they trust in people that can do it for them because they've been doing it all their life. You know, I've known of a few West Bayers that fishing from they was like 10 years old, and with their elders, and they learn the ropes, and they do it very responsibly because they can do it every single year with no casualties. And then yet again, we have certain people out there that are saying we're abusing our rights, and I don't like that. You know, I think that what the government should look at when they're doing this whole fishing thing and giving permits to people, and concentrate on the Caymanians for once, and just like at least give the Caymanians a little way that they can obtain a permit to catch fish over the limit. So fish and shellfish too. Let me just make it clear. Over the limit, so that they can provide food for others that are willing to purchase it and keep their families going, because that's a part of our culture and our heritage, and I think it's very important that we respect that.
So you do a lot of fishing?
No, I do it once in a while, but I do fish.
Because, but there's, I mean, as far as I know, I don't do any fishing, but you don't have to have any kind of license in Cayman to do fishing.
Right now, for Caymanians, I don't think so. For foreigners, I know they do, but when they have the foreigners, I mean, I've heard it from multiple elders in the fishing industry, boat charters and whatnot, right? Hear what they're saying, that the foreigners are outfishing them because they have the money to pay for this thing. They do it for a reason. They're making money off of tourism when it comes into fishing, and it's letting people, it's getting in people into the locals' way, because really and truly it's abusing their rights when they can only fish and they be responsible, but then yet you have a person that are doing it for greed, because they don't respect how much you can catch or whatever. They just want to get it done and please people, make it happen and whatnot. Yeah, cool, but what about respecting the law?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, you got to respect the law. That's for sure.
Right.
And a place can be overfished. I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I know some time ago we heard about people who use chlorine pipes. That they put a PVC pipe down into a school of fish and then drop chlorine in there and stun the fish.
Oh, I heard of
You've heard of that?
The cyanide poison as well, where they catch fish out of cyanide and bombs and stuff, but we don't got those issues. I don't know if we have people doing those things here, right?
I heard about that a couple of years ago. And you know, I mean, it's like you could knock out a whole school of fish, and and then it's an easy catch. You just grab them all, and if that keeps going and you don't stop it, pretty soon you're not going to find any fish around.
Yeah, that's true. You know, one of my biggest concerns would be when it comes into some of the questions on the survey was the shoreline fishing, because the least of my concerns is those who are on the boat, because that's a big ocean, a big old sea out there. I mean, that's out there. But we have we have a very important border in our island called a reef. And a lot of people don't really know about it because they think it's just blue waters and nice sandy beaches, and the Iron Shore is just a way of saying that we have land. But when I see the majority of the foreigners that, and I'm going to specify on no nationalities because we all see them, but when they come into them fishing on our islands, I mean, yeah, we have a lot of fish, we have an abundance of fish, but those fish have a purpose in the sea, and where they're coming from, it's none of their real concerns about that, because it's a bigger play field where they're coming from compared to where we are, and the population that we have to handle when it comes into giving people the rights to fish. They do anything they want. They catch any fish they want. They do it any way they want. And you know what the worst part about it? When they have a congregation and they are on the beach eating together. I'm not saying I won't spoil the event, but there's some nationalities that eat crustaceans that we use for cleanup crews in our island, keeping the Iron Shore clean, keeping the reef clean. You know, like the sea urchins, the sea eggs, what we call them, and the parrotfish, the whelks. You know, they have the bleeding teeth. I actually believe that. I'm not sure if they are illegal to catch the bleeding teeth, but they eat any kind of mussels. So
yeah, that's
some of the nationalities do not respect the individual species,
and they will eat things from the sea that we don't eat.
Exactly. It's not a part of our culture.
We don't even think about eating them.
Yeah, I mean, you get it? I mean, it blows your mind sometimes when you think about it, but it's non-discriminatory when it comes to protecting our environment. And it should always stay that way. I mean, I don't want to hear the excuses that people have to live. They are going to live. In the Bible, it speaks about that. The problem is that a lot of people are being blindfolded to the corruption that is going on here, and that is not acceptable. I've seen it so many times. And you know what they look at you and do? Smile like as if they don't know any better. And I'm like, I say, you come to our country and don't even reflect on the laws that they have in their land. But if I was to go to your country, you want me prosecuted? All right. So see how it goes? It works hand in hand, because I respect the laws of the land when I go to another country. You know, when I go to California and I visit, or if I go to Honduras and I visit, I ask individuals if it's normal that we do something like of a such that I see could be done. And if not, I'd be like, well, I can do it back home, so I'm not really worried. But here they are trying to change our ways.
But do you think of this idea of non-Caymanians not being allowed to fish? Do you go along with that?
It should be that, like how it is in existence right now, that is not enforced, that you should be accompanied by a Caymanian if you're going fishing. But when it comes into non-Caymanians that need a permit or not allowed to fish, I'm fine by that. I mean, they can find their fish somewhere or another, because they have people selling fish. They can go and buy fish. No, we're not telling them to go and buy fish. We just can't trust. You know, when you can't trust when someone do something because it's happened so many times, and then when you see somebody complain about it, they talk about the bad apples spoil a bunch. Well, this is the example. So, and the complaints about it, they should have been following the laws and not getting us aggravated about it, because multiple times, and I've seen enforcement on the Iron Shore before, Department of Environment, so I know they're doing their job, but it's too many of them out there. There's too many people out there doing the wrong things, sir. There's too many people. I commend those who are trying their best in the government, that are doing their best to try to enforce our laws and stuff. I would never in the world imagine trying to get in their way. But there's people out there that are willing to do that.
Yeah, I guess even with all the shoreline development and all that, there's still a lot of places that people can fish in a way that, you know, is not good as far as for the fish population, and especially the reef fish and you know, those fish that just people look at them as what, almost like kind of a decorative fish. I forget the name that you really call them, but
ornamentals.
Ornamental
fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, I deals with those as well. I stopped the hobby a while. That's one of the hobbies I would like to get back into in 2026. But unfortunately, I had to move year before last to a new location, and it was inconvenient for the space. But I would love to see something like that in our education system as well, in a controlled environment. Teach and educate children about our reef fish and growing corals in a controlled environment, before you try to send them out into the sea trying to tackle a problem that we don't understand. I understand it completely, but there's a lot of people that don't, and I think it's important that we give them an avenue. And if anybody want to reach out to me about that, I'm perfectly fine about that. Alejandro Dominguez is not hard to find.
So, what were you really referring to there? I'm not clear on teaching young people about it.
I am skilled at growing corals, saltwater fish, crustaceans, and all of the sorts of animals that you can find in the sea. I understand them perfectly fine.
So you've successfully grown coral.
Yes.
Because that's an important thing with what we hear about coral dying off and that coral bleaching and that sort of thing.
Yeah, and the main reason for the scale disease, the stony coral tissue loss disease, is basically foreign contamination. It's nothing else. I'm sure that people would have an argument about it, but it's nothing in the sea that would kill the corals. Even to the heat. I'm sorry, but even to the heat would not kill the corals. Not here in the Caribbean. I've seen corals tolerate up to 95 degrees of temperature. Stress testing them and recover, and they grow faster after they recover. This is a natural way that they go. It's a cycle. But you see, when you have sunscreen and lotion and all those things, it creates a film, just like how they are trying to create a film over the sky just to try to block the sun. It does the same exact effect in the water, and it's a very dangerous chemical when they use it. And I'm telling you, a lot of the reasons why a lot of corals is losing their tissue is because they're not getting enough sun.
So you mean the sunscreen that people use and then go in the sea?
Right.
It washes off, and enough of that is in the ocean waters to affect the coral?
Just takes one drop. If you do your own little test, have you tried dropping oil in water, like cooking oil in water, and you watch how it spread? Just imagine when you have somebody squeeze a handful, rub it all over their skin. Sometimes they spray it. They're the worst ones. And it goes all over the place. I mean, I don't know if you witnessed that, but if you've seen a few leak in the water, you would understand what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's contagious because it sticks on the coral skin. Corals don't need sunscreen, for crying out loud. It's just like the plants. Plants don't need sunscreen. That's what they live off of. And they breathe, and the worst part, the salt water, they breathe in that water too. So it's in the water. So it's all going, it's not just the surface, it's an internal disease.
But is it just a sunscreen, or is it other kind of contaminants like
other kind of chemicals, but
engine oil and that kind of
yeah, engine oil. A lot of the dive boats or commercial boats use this thing called antifouling, and antifouling is a very, very. I mean, I can't stress it anymore. I stopped painting boats temporarily because of it. Antifouling paint is a copper-based paint, and copper kills corals with excessive amounts. And a lot of the fishermen, dive boat operators and other operators, they love to save the money from taking their boats out of the water, and they'll scrape it right in the reef.
So,
I'm telling you something. I'm not even asking you.
So do we have a lot of damage to the coral around Cayman?
I don't know personally, I don't know. But I can tell you what, our corals in our island are very resilient corals, and any kind of disease that they capture is all artificial intervention. That's how I look at it. I'm sorry to think about it in another way, but this is the way that how I've observed it. I've had an aquarium for over 3 years, and I have not even touched it once after it has stabilized itself. They have a way of recycling their nutrients. Animals do that. They die off.
They regenerate.
Back nutrients. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a life cycle, yo, and we can't fight it. We see it, and I've seen corals that have been uprooted by the storm surges that we have in Northwesterns and whatnot, right? And they've washed up to the shores. And when I look at their skeletals, I'd be like, but they've been dying and growing. The same coral, dying and growing. You can see it within the layers. It's inches of growth.
Well, brother, thank you for calling, and thanks for the little education.
Yes, sir.
All right, you take care and have a good afternoon here. It's news time. Let's see what's in the headlines.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cayman, let's talk about your internet and phone service. OFREC has published a draft proposal for new consumer protection regulations, and we want your feedback. The draft regulations propose new rules to modernize the sector, including proposals to limit back billing to 3 months, introduce a 5-day cooling off period for new contracts, and set mandatory timelines for resolving complaints. The draft also proposes extending these protections to small businesses for the first time. But these are just proposals. To ensure the final rules are practical and fair, we need to hear from you. All submissions on this consultation should be made in writing and must be received by 5 p.m. on January 8, 2026 at the latest. For more information, visit ofreg.ky/consultations or email consultations@ofreg.ky. OFREG, working toward a fair and reliable digital economy.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. Cayman Finance, as the first group of young Caymanians in its new graduate training program, has completed 12 weeks of intense industry training as part of a 1-year placement with local financial services firms. The participants, paired with small and medium-sized companies across the sector, took weekly workshops on Cayman's regulatory landscape, banking, funds, insurance, fintech, and financial crime, as well as core professional skills and wellness support. Organizers say the initiative is designed to open more doors for Caymanian graduates while helping smaller firms tap into local talent, with a second intake planned for 2026 alongside Cayman Finance's long-running Lead Work Experience program for high school students. In international news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is warning that European partners have yet to give him clear, legally binding guarantees they would defend Ukraine in the event of a future Russian attack. He spoke after talks in Paris, where the UK and France outlined plans to set up military hubs and potentially deploy troops in Ukraine once a peace deal is signed, but stopped short of full security pledges and left key questions over territorial concessions unresolved. Zelensky says that without firm commitments backed by parliaments and the U.S. Congress, Ukraine still has to rely primarily on its own strength. The White House says the U.S. will oversee sales of sanctioned Venezuelan oil indefinitely, initially allowing between 30 and 50 million barrels onto the market while keeping control of the revenues to maintain pressure on Caracas. Energy Secretary Chris Wright says Washington wants to, quote, let the oil flow, even as questions remain over how much cash will reach Venezuela and how quickly its struggling oil sector can ramp up production. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. It's 6 minutes after 2 o'clock, and let's take a quick look at the weather. Current conditions, 83 degrees, feels like 90. Wind out of the east-northeast at about 12.5 knots. Humidity at 76%. And the forecast calls for partly cloudy skies straight through tonight. Winds expected to be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots with seas slight to moderate, wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. And a quick WhatsApp message here. Says, yes, Mr. Glidden, most of those places being, remember one of our callers referenced a shanty town, shacky kind of tenement yard that we're developing in certain areas. Most of those places have one, and I guess it's one window or door, one, because it's an emoji, I can't tell what it is. Anyway, one exit, I guess, let's say. And if a fire breaks out, you have no escape route. And the worst thing is they are charging an arm and a leg. Yeah. Exploiting people who will, can't do any better. And another one here, another message. My understanding is that Caymankind was a tourism ad during Shamari Scott's time there. Was it during Shamari? Maybe. Okay. Unfortunately, it then became our country's slogan or even our unofficial motto in a way, with us completely bending over backwards and losing ourselves in the process. Well, we have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the Air with Talk Today.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Yes.
Fabian speaking, Rambo here. Good afternoon, Glenn. Radio came on.
Happy New Year.
Actually, my New Year begins in February. Yeah, the last 6 years, February, I adapt to it.
Okay.
This month out, you understand? And now I got to be in a Colorado in Armanda this afternoon. Give me about 6 minutes. I called in Mr. OT show last year. And I mentioned with the Gulf of America and Trump omitting Gulf of Mexico. He was bluffing, right? And he won Greenland for reconnaissance purpose, security tactics close to Europe, right? And right before Thanksgiving, the tariffs all affiliated with Brazil, China, Russia, right? Money is the currency. Obviously, the US dollar is a bear market. So volatility brings opportunities, okay? Trump is a businessman. He's second term now, the president. Putin now, ex-KGB, intelligence, right? Calculated, strong man, right? Similar to US, CIA, intelligence, UK, MI6, MI5. You see, feel me? So, come back to home now. When I was incarcerated for myself, in 2022, I called Mr. Otito for the record one morning. They had the foreign ministers, Brian, Mr. G-Banks, and Chris Saunders. I said we need to free up the herbs in a civil manner. Everywhere else, they're relaxing their laws and the reform. You'd be stuck in La La Land. Within hours, they implemented that they would decriminalize marijuana and gambling. Okay?
Yeah, people spoke.
Yeah, but now 2022, destruction happened on Mr. Glynn. Right? Musical chairs, cross section, that cured. Then the UP informed. Thank God the former minister, the former premier, Ms. Juliana, which is a relative of mine, my cousin, my late grandfather, right? She put in the ticket, the referendum, the gambling marijuana, right? And the permanent truth goes through that. Okay? So in the voter turnout, the attrition will moderate. But I get to right down to the present moment now. The Irons in ideal position, Mr. GLIDDEN, they came on. The MPs need put this on the floor with oxygen. All MPs, right? Collectively, pre-notification of policy changes, of archaic, obsolete laws, right? The former police commissioner mentioned that David Baines, 2015, became months are getting ridiculed with dumping laws. You feel me? Englishman, like me, whatever you call him. You feel me? So this morning I comment with people who were on the OT show with the district council.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about equilibrating mechanism, right? Balanced representation across constituencies, right? Districts. The quotas allowance, who can vote? But point blank, no, the amalgamation of it, combine and unite in the traditional way. You feel me? But the gerrymandering now, that will lead to national vote, even beside that point. But that's what I think. But like I said again, give me a moment now. We need Cayman, we need to step up to the plate. You understand? We the Western Hemisphere, the west of Mexico, and we north of Cuba, and not playing alone. You understand? Yeah, and civilization start a mile wide and an inch deep. So you got to try carefully. Gentlemen, have a good day.
All right. Thanks for the call. Thanks for your thoughts. Yeah. People voted in favor of having the national lottery and decriminalizing ganja. And that is, I guess, is it the Law Reform Commission that it's with? Anyway, it's still, under study as, I guess, how you would do that. I guess you can just bring some legislation. I guess there's a lot of legislation around that you could get some samples from as to how to do it. Of course, there are those who think that go further than decriminalizing and go to full legalization, but at least young people, if we do just decriminalize, and what it would be sort of the same thing as getting a speeding ticket, right? Young people, especially, who get caught with one spliff or whatever, they're not going to have a criminal record that their lives are totally ruined because of having a criminal record. Be what you would call it, a misdemeanor, so that they'll still be able to get a passport, go get a visa to travel if they want to go away to school and such. And I think that's what the minister at the time who put it on, Minister Bryan, that's what he said his purpose, his intentions were to keep young Caymanians who may, you want to call it a mistake, you want to say, well, they shouldn't have done it in the first place, they shouldn't have it, but, the attitudes toward ganja these days are a lot different than what it was, 50 years ago, probably even 15 years ago. And people don't see it as, the kind of drug that is a dangerous drug. And young people are always willing to try things, right? And sometimes it works out for the worst as far as being caught. And under our laws, if you're caught with one spliff, that's a criminal record, and your life changes with that record. We have to take a break. Be right back.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone, and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skincare, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Oh, we got about 13 minutes or so to go in the show. If you want to give me a call at 1-800-534-8255. That's toll free, courtesy of Flo. Or you can also call on 949-8037. And unfortunately, our WhatsApp connection is giving us a little trouble today. We can't do a voice call on it, but you can send us a message, 925-3261. That's the WhatsApp number. You can message us, but you can't call us on that. Okay, I think I got this fishing survey thing figured out now. I wasn't doing too good a job at multitasking and pulling up the right the press release and listening to the caller and reading this at the same time. But okay, so the survey that started from November, yes, it continues through the 9th of January, which is not far away, right? So let's see here. They will be still have these kiosks, these booths, where you can actually physically get the survey. And Friday, the 9th of January, it'll be at Kirk Market in Grand Cayman from 12 until 3 p.m. That's Kirk Market on Friday, 12 to 3 p.m. And, well, this press release doesn't have the dates for Little Cayman and Cayman Brac, but if they haven't done it yet, it says it was going to be in January, so maybe that's January 9th also. It didn't have a date, but the month of January 2026. So you can let your views be known to the government about fishing regulations in the Cayman Islands. It all closes off on the 9th. That'll be the last day for anybody to give their input on this survey that's taking place. And I know when it first came out, people at times kind of, responded emotionally when because we had the minister on and people were calling and quite adamant about, the waters around us being overfished, and certain people not really respecting our traditions because their culture said that in their culture they eat things that we didn't eat out of the sea, and but basically over harvesting, as they would call it, harvesting the sea. And another important survey is taking place too, and this is long overdue. Some consumer protection. This, of course, with telecommunications, and everybody has some kind of phone these days, right? What did we ever do before we had cell phones? How did we manage? Some people have 2 cell phones. One's for Flow, one is for Digicel, whatever. Never did quite get that, but OFREG is moving to put some regulations in place as far as consumer protection, and that's going to be an important thing. So if you got some views on that, you need to let them be known to OFREG about what you think consumer protection should be for telecommunications. I know one of the things in there is they want to have what a cooling off period, that even if you've signed the contract, there's a certain number of days that you have, and you can go and say, like, I changed my mind. I don't want to do this again. I can't afford it, whatever. I don't think it's the right thing. And you can come out of it if you do it within a certain number of days, right? And that's a good move right there as far as I'm concerned. And also the whole idea of, subscriptions, they're not automatically renewed, because sometimes you might want to make a change. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello, you're on the air. Hello? Not hearing him. Very, very faint in the background there. Hello, are you there? No, couldn't get a connection. If you bring us back, we'll try it again. Sorry about that. I could hear someone very, very, very faintly in the background there, but we couldn't connect. So we've been talking about, where we're headed as we've crossed over the halfway point in this decade and going toward the next decade. And population-wise, Cayman moving into that big number of 100,000 people. If the current increase in population rate continues the way it has, we're definitely looking at 100,000 by 2030. And I think we got a call in there again. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Charlie, what's going on?
Hey, you like to call? You like to call right at this time, right?
Yeah, because
you can. So that's so you can get the last word. I know you call now because you can get the last word.
And I got a good excuse. I don't have to stay on long. I can get off.
So what's up today?
No, I just hear the discussion about the population. Right forward, who's the Overbright committee or the authorities that are giving this okay to have this population increased by 100,000?
Well, I don't think there's anybody permitting it. I mean, it's growing because the economy is growing.
But someone has to give some kind of authority for people to come in here and take up residence and all of that.
Well, I mean, we're talking about work, WORC. They issue work permits, and that's where the population increase is coming from, is work permits.
Yeah, but the population should not be a permanent population. It should be temporary work permits, and it should be stated that that's it, that you just come in here to work and leave. However, I don't see it going that way. I think what you're saying about the 100,000 population, I think that's really what's taking place here. And we're not prepared for that, you know? We're not prepared for it. And I feel so sorry for the younger generation who's not aware of what's taking place, or the near future, shall I say, what's going to happen. It's not wonderful.
I don't think a lot of people can even envision what Cayman will be in 10 years.
Well,
if the current kind of growth, if the current growth continues, you know, and you know, economic development goes in cycles too. There will be a time at some point where things slow down. Not a natural break.
Yes. You think it'll be a natural break, or it'll be a devastating break?
Well,
I think it's going to be something we're not expecting. And then, adding on to that, it should be instilled into the younger generation coming up the vital importance of, let's put it this way, common word, or for the want of a better word, backyard farming.
Mm-hmm.
The poor things, they go around one corner and add, or make their order, go around the other corner of the place and it's ready. You know. And again, I want to just say this: generic modified food that people are eating. You haven't seen anything yet with diseases and cancer and something else, because it's not healthy what we're eating. All I ever hear about the chickens, and you can't do this with the chickens, but you are allowed, this country and these people, to consume so much food that, in my opinion, and I think I have reason to say that because I can prove some of it, it is not fit for human consumption. Okay? They take some of it off the shelf, but by the time you hear about that, people have consumed a lot of it. But I just call you right now because I know my time is not here, and I got a good excuse to say good evening, Charlo, when we talk to you tomorrow. I'll call you another day when we get more time to have a good rap, man. Okay?
Okay. All right. Good to hear from you, though.
You too.
You take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, well, you know, you got to eat the right food, and I mean, if you look, you can find the right foods to eat, right? And unfortunately, like everything else, the better stuff is always more expensive. You know, people talking about eating healthy, and that's not always convenient for some people who are on a limited budget. You know, you go in and you buy some ground beef, and if you look at the labels and the color of the meat, right, and then you read the labels and you see what percentage is actual lean and what is fat, you know, is quite a difference. You can get less expensive stuff, but it's loaded with a lot of fat, and it has that light colored look to it. But the real red stuff, you know, that has the beef, the good protein, you know, that's, you got to pay for that, right? And what the late Sly Stone say, you know, The nicer the nice, the higher the price, right? Well, it is 2:30. That means my time is up. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for calling in. Hope you have a good afternoon. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.